the stars of the show have made it in. I see at least Chauncey Billups and Carmelo Anthony, and I think that's what Jonathan Sopranowicz announced a few moments ago. So, here we go.
Welcome, everybody. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Executive Chairman, Madison Square Garden, Jim Dolan.
This is the lowest this microphone will be today. Well, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter, and Corey Brewer to New York, and welcome back Ronaldo Bachman. I would also like to acknowledge all the Knicks legends in attendance. We are very happy that you are here too. I'd like to acknowledge all of our players, families, and their agents, but especially would like to acknowledge Lala Vasquez and Leon Rose. While we have always respected Carmelo as a player, when we met the other night, I enjoyed that meeting, liked him a lot, and it was clear that he wanted to come to our city and play for our franchise. In addition to Carmelo, also we think having Chauncey on a young team like ours is great for our franchise. He's a proven winner and a champion, and we are excited about having him. I'd also like to thank the players we traded. They are all great people and players, and we will miss them very much. I enjoyed their time as Knicks. They were really nice guys. They were true professionals, and they gave us some great moments. Now, I'd like to make it clear what we said in the statement the other day. Donnie, Mike, and I were completely coordinated throughout this process from start to finish. The idea that we were not in agreement is simply not true. We had multiple meetings and discussions, some good debating, but in the end, we were all in complete agreement. I'll also say this very directly. While Isaiah Thomas is a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, hey, he was not at all involved in this process. He wasn't advising me or telling me what to do in any way, and any reports that imply that he was doing that are simply untrue and a fiction in somebody's mind. The trade was a complete effort with Donnie, Mike, and I. We met and spoke often. And Donnie has done a great job on this trade. He has done a great job since he's been here, especially putting us in a position to even think about adding players of this caliber. Donnie is as respected inside our organization as he is throughout the NBA. He and I agreed to get through the trade deadline. Then we will sit down and discuss his contract, which expires in June. We will comment on that at the appropriate time. Finally, I'd like to thank our fans who continue to be tremendously supportive. We have said we want to be positioned for long-term success so that our fans and this city can have a team that they are proud of. This trade is another big step in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dolan. We'll now have our photo opportunity. Oh, yeah.
Okay, smiles all around. Interesting press conference from the Isaiah Thomas standpoint, no question. And I think it's very, very representative of how he feels about this franchise. Amari Stoudemire is sitting across the way watching everything out of respect for what these two bring to the New York Knicks. To think of what the Knicks were just a couple of years ago and how Donnie Walsh has transformed this franchise, Not in the Patrick Ewing era, not in recent years for sure, have the Knicks been able to say that they have two of the best players in the game. You have to go back to the early 70s when they were winning championships to be able to say that they could say that.
Yep.
This room is absolutely packed. It's so awesome to see Harry the Horse Galton sitting next to Walt Clyde Frazier, sitting next to his former teammate Dick Barnett, about to be honored tonight with John Starks, Allen Houston. Legends Night at Madison Square Garden. There's Dick Barnett off to the left. Has to be about 25 news crews here and about 100 photographers. Carmelo Anthony will wear number 7. Chauncey Billups will wear number 4. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the other pieces of this mega trade, 13 players in all, will factor into the games that are left in this Knicks season. And I guess we're working on every permutation here. Age 35, went back home to play for the Nuggets. He says he's energized by this and the challenge of it. His family will stay behind for now, at least, in Denver, Colorado. There's Harry the Horse Galton next to Walt Clyde Frazier with longtime Knick trainer Mike Saunders, who's part of the Legends Night festivities, and this is one of the proudest moments since Jim Dolan took over running the Garden and the Knicks.
Good.
And Amari Stoudemire in the neighborhood. This is quite the shot, Knicks fans. The atmosphere inside Madison Square Garden tonight is going to be crazy. I think Amari just said, nice job. That's hysterical.
Put your arms around tonight.
A lot of photographic coaching going on. Even our stage manager is taking pictures of this. It trickled out late Monday night, shortly before 11. It was confirmed yesterday. Carmelo, right before the announcement came out, was on with Conan O'Brien in a private jet to Teterboro, New Jersey last night. Downtown Manhattan hotel, and now Madison Square Garden. His face has been on the marquee all day long.
Q&A now.
And now I think we're going to have some questions and answers. It's going to be interesting to see how this begins.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're going to start with the Q&A session now. I'm going to ask you to wait for the boom mic to come around. When you have a question, please introduce yourself. Steve, let's start on your side. Steve? There's no breakout sessions. Now there's time to ask. Does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, we'll go.
Carmelo, Chauncey, welcome. Talk to us about what the walkthrough was like now that you and Knicks here at the world's most famous arena. What did you guys had a chance to learn in a short time together?
It was different for me, man. You know, this morning I came in early, got some shots up by myself. You know, and I felt like I was still coming in just for a shoot around, you know, on the opposing team. It didn't really sink in yet, you know, the fact that I'm a New York Knick. You know, I feel like I'm still dreaming right now. You know, it was a dream come true for myself, and I'm ready to get down to business right now. You know, I know it's only 20-some games, 27 games, something like that left. And you know, I know we got to gel, we got to, you know, get our chemistry down, but at the same time, we got to roll. You know, we got things to go out there and accomplish. We got goals to reach, and it starts now.
We know you've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Why was it New York that was kind of at the top of your list, and on the flip side of that, why did you decide to get to leave?
Well, at the end of the day, man, you know, I think New York needed a moment like this. You know, I think when they acquired Amari, it brought some excitement back to the city. Now, you know, like Amari said, New York basketball is back. You know, will we win a championship this year? You know, who knows? You know, that takes time. But at the end of the day, we're moving into the right direction. And I felt like I wanted to be part of an organization, part of a team who had some upside and, you know, knew what the future was, you know, was holding. And, you know, like I said, man, it's a dream come true for me, and I'm ready to rock.
Carmelo, Brian Mahoney from the Associated Press. This is what you wanted, obviously, but as the process went along, how much did you think maybe it wouldn't happen? Were you sure that it would happen? How was your mind all along?
Well, I mean, as you may know, you was there this past weekend. It was a zoo. You know, Friday I didn't, you know, it was one thing. Saturday it was another thing. Sunday it was something different. So I'm just glad that it's over with. My mind was, you know, was everywhere. You know, but at the end of the day, I still was able to focus in and play basketball. You know, at the end of the day, that's what all of this is about. The decision I made, you know, is based on myself, is based on my family. You know, we sat down as a collective unit and came up with this decision that New York was a place, you know, to bring my talent.
Carmelo, Alan Harmon, Newsday. Last season, when we were in Denver, we chased you down in the morning, we said, we don't know what LeBron's going to do, but if he doesn't go to New York, you're next, and you kind of laughed it off. When did you start thinking about New York as an option? Was it right after, you know, they didn't end up with LeBron, or was it even before that?
Well, it was after that, man. You know, it was just some things that I had to think about. You know, if I was a free agent, then this was something that I probably look. You know, I don't think it would have took this long for me to get here. But now that I wasn't, it was a little bit more tough for myself to deal with throughout the whole course of the season. And it came down to right now. You know, 20-some games into the season, and I mean, I really don't know. I'm excited, man. I'm sitting here. I'm in one of the best places in the world, New York City. I'm about to go upstairs and play in my first basketball game as a New York Knick in one of the best arenas in the world. So I'm excited about that.
Well, for me, you know, the whole thing is, I know that, you know, how bad this is a huge day for Melo, and I knew that how bad he wanted this to happen. Initially, I'm sure I wasn't probably in the plans, but everybody kind of sees the mentality that we play with together and the cohesiveness that we have on the court, and you know, why would you break that up? So I can understand where they was coming from, and you know, I'm from Denver, as you guys know, and I'm always going to love Denver and what it's all about. I'm like the hometown kid, but you know, it's time to go. It was time to go, obviously, and I'm excited about this challenge.
Carmelo, Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. What about New York, the media, the expectations, the pressure? Are you ready to embrace all of that?
I think in order, it takes a certain kind of person to deal with New York City. And me being born here, you know, my roots is from here. You know, I done been through so much in my short career so far. So for me to deal with you guys on a daily basis, you know, I think it's easy on my behalf. You know, is it going to be a easy transition for me? No. Is it going to be a lot of challenges? Yes. Is it going to be a lot of expectations? Yes. But I'm willing to accept all of them challenges.
Carmelo, Chauncey, Tina Cervasio, Knicks reporter for MSG Network. And there's just 28 games left in the Knicks schedule. The team is trying to secure a good playoff spot. What are the challenges? Because you're coming from a different system, now playing in Mike D'Antoni's ball movement, fast pace. What are the challenges moving forward on the court?
I think that the one thing that's probably going to help us both out is the system that we just came from is kind of up and down, fast-paced. I think the experience that we both have in playing at a very high level, playing deep into the playoffs before, knowing how big some of these regular season games can be, just that experience, I think, alone is going to help out this team. It's going to help us out. And, you know, we come here, like you said, with a lot of very high expectations with the personnel that we have. And we look forward to the challenge and trying to be the best that we could be.
This question is for both you guys. Larry Hardesty, 1050 ESPN New York. For you guys just coming here, you've talked about there's only games left. What's the biggest challenge for each of you to mesh with the team that you have in such short time?
Well, for myself, it's just getting everybody on the same page quickly. You know, like I said, we don't have no time to waste. I don't really think we have that much practice time to get our chemistry down, so we're going to be learning as we go along in the games. As you all know, this month of March is tough. We start off on the road. It's a big road month, for us. So we know that. We know that we got to come together quickly. It's going to be a lot of challenges. We're going to lose some games, due to the lack of chemistry that we have. But at the end of the day, our main goal is to get to that playoffs. And everybody know, once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen.
I think for me, as a point guard, my job is probably the hardest because I got to learn tendencies of 14 new players, with the exception of a couple of my guys, maybe 7 new players actually, but and learn what the coach wants, how they want to play, where certain guys like the ball at. So it's a difficult challenge, but at the same time, I'll be fine. I've done it before a lot of times, and we'll be good to go.
Devontae Isles, so much to talk about. Carmelo and Chauncey, you both had experiences with Coach D'Antoni with Team USA basketball. So will that make the transition easier for you guys here in New York?
Well, I think it would be a lot more easier. I think there's guys on this team, that want to buy in to what's about to happen, and already have bought in to Mike D'Antoni's system. The one thing I want to bring, and the one thing, I let Chauncey speak for itself, is some experience. Just knowing the game, having a high IQ for the basketball game, and just defensively, I really want to focus in on that at the end of the day. I think that only thing that takes is a lot of effort, and I think once we get everybody to buy into that mentality, we'll be good to go. We all know that this is a high-power offense. We know that we can score 120 points a game if we really wanted to. But that's not going to win too many games, especially coming down at the end of the season.
Carmelo, Mark Berman, New York Post. There's some concern the team gave up a little too much, too many pieces. What do you think about the supporting cast and also the chemistry with Amare, you and Amare?
I'm pretty sure if any of you guys were GMs or owners, you would want me and Amari on the same team as well. I really don't know who would turn that down. I look at other teams who have 2 guys, 3 guys, star players, guys who's averaging 20 or more, and they get along. Myself, I know me personally, I can score 25, I can score 30 points a night. But that's not my goal, that's not my mentality. Now I got somebody else who can score 25, 30 points a night, so it's going to be nice where I have to ride his coattail and say, Stat, look, get down there and give me 30 points, give me 20 rebounds. Listen, you get 15 rebounds a night, I get 15, and we lock this thing down. And then along with Chauncey, with his experience and the way he can spread the court out, and he's been on the championship team before. He's won, NBA Finals MVP, so he know what it takes to win championships. He know what it takes to win basketball games, and that's the only thing that we want to bring here to the New York Knicks. We want to be an aggressive team. We want to play physical, we want to, put some fun into the game. I think everybody in New York is ready to bring that physicality back, to play hard defense, to play hard basketball games, and we're excited about that.
Julio Pavón, Latino Sports. Welcome back to New York, Carmelo. Welcome back. Welcome to both of you. Bienvenido a la ciudad de Nueva York. In reference to when you first got the phone call telling you that the deal was made, where were you? How did you feel? Who was the first person you called?
I was actually headed to the airport to go to practice, to leave LA to go to practice in Denver. And then I got one phone call and they said, just hold up a minute, hold the plane, don't go nowhere. Then I got another phone call right after that and they said, listen, nothing is done yet. Then I got another phone call right after that and said, listen, you might as well just sit still. We think we have a deal. And from then on, they told me I was a New York Knicks.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. That's going to conclude our questions and answers. We're going to have one more photo opportunity. As everyone knows, tonight is our 3rd annual Legends Night. So we're going to ask some of our legends to come up and take a photo. From the 1950s, Harry Gallatin. From the 1960s, Dick Barnett. From the 1970s, Earl Monroe. Mark Jackson, unfortunately, is not here. The 1990s, John Starks. The 2000s, Allen Houston, and the Dick McGuire Legacy Award winner, Mike Saunders.
Well, there is no shortage of activity in this room. That is for certain. So after taping Conan O'Brien, Carmelo Anthony got a phone call, stay put in Los Angeles. That didn't stay for very long. And we are scheduled to talk with Chauncey Billups and Carmelo Anthony in a moment. I thought it was very telling that Amari Stoudemire was there to be part of this. And that's the tone he has set ever since signing on with the New York Knicks. That the Knicks had the financial flexibility to do this is extraordinary. And the word satisfaction can't be enough for what Donnie Walsh must have been feeling up on that podium, what he has been able to do in a relatively short amount of time. John Starks will be honored tonight, Allen Houston too, Harry the Horse Gallatin, and that will be coming up tonight as the Knicks take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Ironic, isn't it? The last game that Carmelo played for the Nuggets was against Milwaukee, and the first game that he plays for the New York Knicks will be against Milwaukee. Again, our pregame coverage will be special tonight. It'll begin at 7 Eastern Time. This live coverage from the theater lobby at Madison Square Garden is presented by Chase. Wow, there's a lot of basketball talent up on that stage. And it's so great to see Mike Saunders part of the Knicks for tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, in front of a packed house here. It's right up there with any of the other press conferences. The Pat Riley press conference, Mark Messier, right there. As Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, and this trade make the back page, and in some cases the front page, of every paper in town. Their heads have to be spinning. And I think right now they're bringing Chauncey Billups over in our neighborhood. So much to talk about. A Denver guy coming all the way east to play at almost sea level.
I know you got a lot of stuff.
Chauncey, Al Troutwig, man. Welcome. Little love for Kelly Tripucka.
Welcome to New York. How you doing? Good seeing you.
All right, so.
You do well, man. You're the man. Thank you.
All right, we'll get Chauncey on in a minute. Carmelo Anthony and his wife Lala sent out a really nice message to the people of Denver, thanking them for their 7 years, all, by the way, over 20 points a game for Carmelo Anthony. Along the way, 4 All-Star appearances, and they're going to have their own reality show coming up.